So now let's go ahead and create our rear elevation, right? Which is this. Let's rotate it in this manner. Okay, this is our rear, right? This is our rear elevation. Let's rotate this also. So we'll be having the view, exact view of our rear elevation. Okay, then let's move on. So for us to get our rear elevation, just the same method we've been doing, just the same thing we've been doing, right? So let's go ahead and get this right. Let's do this. Now let's copy. Let's copy them out and see what we are having. Okay. I think we're having two toilet windows here, right? Two small windows and a big window, right? Okay. And sorry, two big windows also. Two small windows and two big windows. Okay. That's not an issue. Let's go ahead and do this and get our ground floor and let's trim this out, right? Okay. Now let's copy this. Let's copy 3000, same procedure, 2100, same procedure, and then for our base, we are having 600 here, right? Okay, okay, let's now extend this, right? Okay, we are having this, right? So we can just go ahead and delete this off since we don't have any veranda to create here or anything to create here, right? Okay, so we can just go ahead and finish them up. Okay, let's just trim this side also. We don't have anything to do with this anymore. Okay, what we just need now is to place our windows and then design our roof and then design it, right? Okay, so let's go and bring in our small windows and the big window. Let's copy them. All right. Okay, I think we're having a big window here, right? Okay, now let's pick up the small window. One is supposed to be here, and then the other is to be here, right? And then the for the big window also we're having another one here. Okay, and then we are good to go. We can just select all this and then delete them. We don't need them anymore. This also, we are not in need of it anymore. Okay, now we can just drag this down and then design our roof for this. So this is basically how our roof will be looking like. We'll be having this section here with the small part here and this smaller roof here, right? Similar to this. So what we just need to do now, instead of us recreating it, let's just copy this whole thing out. Instead of us redrawing our roof, since it's kind of the same side as it, we've done this side of it, we just need little editing to get this side right. So we are still in need of this small roof here and this larger part. We are just not in need of this anymore, this smaller roof in the front here, right? So what you just need is to copy this. Let's bring it out. Okay. Now, after bringing it out, now let's just delete all the, okay. Let's just go ahead and delete all the designs we made to it, right? And this also. Let's go ahead and delete all that. Okay. And then let's mirror. Let's mirror it. Since this time around now is now the opposite side, right? The opposite view now. This small roof here, which is here, will now be by this side, by our right side now. It will no longer be on our left side, just like when we are doing our right view, our left side, sorry, it will now come back to our right side here, right? That's the main reason why I'm mirroring it. So I'll just mirror it, and yes, we don't need this anymore. Okay, so what I just need to do now is just edit some little aspects of the roof. But first of all, let's copy this out. Let's copy this. Let me copy this out. Pick it up and then bring it here to my roof here. So I just need to do some little editing to this. Let's extend this. Right. Okay. Let's bring this here. So let's just complete it here by drawing a straight line. And then I'll just mash it up with this. Okay, and we are good to go. What is just left now is for us to sorry. Here earlier, we did not create a border here just like this. I'm just noticing that. Okay, let's just quickly do that before I forget. Let's quickly do that. Let's create our boundary area. We should have created that earlier, but we forgot to do that. Okay, let's create it as this, right? Enter. Now let's offset it off. Offset, right? Enter 50. No, sorry, we used 100 for the bigger section here. We used 100. 100 or 150. Okay, let's go with 100 and see. Let's use 100. Let's use 100. Okay. So now let's go ahead with our hatch pattern. Right. Let's see what you're having. Let's see what you got. Okay. So let's return this. Okay. And we are good to go. Okay. Now that we've adjusted that, right? We adjusted that, it's now looking good. So we should have done the same thing here also. I was just noticing. So what we just need to do now is let's explode everything. Let's explode them. Let's explode. Enter. Now what you just need to do now is to clear out this area. Let's clear this out. Right. I think this is still needed like this. Okay, let's do like this. Let me return them. The ones I just need to explode. This is still going to be like this, right? Okay. Based on what we are having here. But this is still going to be like this. So we don't just need this aspect again. We don't need this anymore. Okay. So now let's explode this out. Let's explode. Okay, and let's delete all this. I think it's advisable to delete all this too, and let's just create the boundary, right? Or you can just join them up, right? You can just join them up. Let's delete this, but let us just recreate the boundary and see what you're having. Let's pick our point. We're having this enter. So now let's offset 100 enter. Oh, sorry, it shouldn't be like this. Let's return it. Offset enter. Then we're having this. Oh my god, why is it? Okay, let's do like this. Let's mash it up with that. It's not working out. Okay, is there another line there or what is going on? Okay, there is another line there. No wonder. Okay, let's delete this out. But why are we having the control Z? Let's return this. Right, okay. Let's choose this side also. Oh my god, why are we having multiple lines here? Okay, maybe why we did the boundary for that earlier. Maybe that's the reason why. When we are doing the boundary for the other aspect there, right? Okay, let's just quickly adjust that. Let's change that. Let's match this up with this, right? And then let's recreate our boundary. Okay, we've established that. That's our boundary, right? And then let's offset 100. Okay, and we are good to go. So what is just left for us to do is we don't need all this anymore. We don't need them anymore. We're only in need of okay, sorry. Before I erase that, I'll be needing this part of my roof to indicate where my roof is going to start from. Okay, now let's move. Let's move it from here. You see that we just made some little editing to it, and then we are good to go. Since they have the same length, they have the same everything. Okay, and okay, we forgot to make this area also. Okay, that's not an issue. We can just quickly do that now. Let's do that here, and then we are good to go. Right. Okay. So Let's just trim this out time. Okay, right. Let's just clear that. Yeah. Okay. And then this is what we are having. Let's bring this up here. Okay, and here also. Let's. Okay, and I think we are done. Okay, let's delete this. We are not in need of that anymore. Okay, this is what you're having, right? At least it's looking the same, it's looking similar now, right? We just edited that instead of us recreating it here again, just edit that and bring it here. Okay, so now let's design it with our hash tool. Okay, our hash. Oh, sorry. Why am I always forgetting to change this? Because of the thickness. Okay, now you're having this here and then here also. Okay, so now let's get our solid pattern, our solid for here, right? And then here also, right? Okay, now let's look here and check our color here. Okay, solid also 1900 102. Okay, let's check it here out. Let's check it out. Okay, okay, here is it. Here is there already. Okay, so this is it. Enter, and then let's complete it by getting this. Here is it. Here it is, and this is by layer or by block. Okay, and then we're having here also. Okay, I forgot to do this earlier. Let's just change that. Let's edit that point here. Okay, and then yeah, good to go. Yeah, don't forget to save your work, right? If you're on a desktop and if your laptop is not quite good enough, just remember always remember to save. Okay, and I think this is our rear view, right? So you can just copy the text here, copy, and this is our rear view. All right, so we'll just change this to rear. Okay, right? This is our rear. Okay, and we are good to go. Oh, now we are left with only one elevation now, which is the left side, right? Okay, let's just move this down. I'm trying to arrange, though I will still come back and make everything in a group. I'll come back and group them, right? I'll come back and group everything, right? But let's arrange them first and give them a decent look, right? Okay. So now you're having this. Let me just kind of move this a little bit. Let's move this a little bit. Let's move it a little bit for the sake of when we are grouping, they will not affect each other. Okay. Now you're left with only one side, which is the opposite of this, which is the left side, right?